World Trade Center, tower number 1 is on fire. The whole outside of the building, there was just a huge explosion. 1060. Send every available ambulance, everything you got to World Trade Center.
September 11th, 2001. You will remember this day as long as you live.
Mayday, mayday. Engine, the little plane hit the second tower, okay?
And Caulfield comes.
Bring to Manhattan, urgent. One of the buildings is partially collapsed. And the whole entire Manhattan, urgent. The other tower just collapsed. Ready to collapse. Ready to collapse.
Manhattan to field contact. Manhattan to field contact. Attention all units, we're receiving reports of number 1 and number 2 World Trade Center collapse. All units at the scene, receiving reports.
I had just gotten back from dropping my then second grader off at the school bus stop, and one of my older daughters, who had just graduated college, was at home watching it on TV, and she called me to the TV. I saw what was going on. I called my editor and got in my car and started making my way downtown. As I was ready to go into a meeting, an editor from the newsroom came running into the photo department and said a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center. So I ran out into the newsroom and I looked out the 4th floor window and I could see the North Tower with this huge gaping hole. I recognized right away that this was going to be a really big story. So I talked to the photo editor, Steve Richard, and he just said, go.
I had just sent the kids off to school. My wife was on her way to a funeral up in Long Island, and when she called me and said, "Did you turn on the TV set? What's going on? You're in the news, turn on the TV set." And I turned it on and I looked, and you see the first tower was already on fire. And at the point where I turned it on, I remember seeing a plane just kind of come into the frame.
I was asleep when my wife woke me up. I had worked the night before. I was the sports photographer, and I was at the Yankee game. They had gotten rained out. And on the way home, I stopped and shot a fire in Harrison. So I was still asleep the next morning. My wife woke me and told me to turn on the TV. I turned on the TV and I saw smoke coming from the one tower. And at the time, I figured it was just some bad accident. The plane wasn't sure where it was going and crashed into the tower. And I just figured I better get down there. This is going to be a big story. And jumped in the car and headed downtown.
I was actually sleeping, but I watched the Giant game the night before on Monday Night Football, and I was working late that day, and my wife came storming into the bedroom at about 8:45 and said, "Planes crashed into the World Trade Center," put on the TV, and that's how I found out.
I was living on the Upper West Side, and I was on my way to vote, walking up the street, and I got a phone call from my partner Nina, who's a photojournalist, and it was on assignment in Washington State, and she told me that she heard that a plane had hit the World Trade Center. We finished our conversation, I hung up, and I got a call from my boss, Rich Gilly, saying, all hands on deck, we all have to head downtown. I jumped into my car, drove down West End Avenue. It seemed like it took only 5 minutes to get to 14th Street, and I don't remember seeing any cars at all as I drove there. Got there in no time.